and a Trump hat. And now we need to add a name tag.
And by the way, they were chanting, "We are trash." That's the first time in America I've never heard chant has ever. That will not be replicated at any other point. Another unprecedented moment in American election history.
We are proud to be trashy.
That was a scene from diners assembled at Joe and Sam's in Watkinsville, Georgia. I mean, what else can you really say about this? They're calling themselves trash. Okay. We are trash. I'm not going to argue with you, especially when at the same place this happened.
I'm leaning more towards Kamala Harris just because I'm ill and I need birth control to keep me able to function on a daily basis, honestly. And if Donald Trump is elected, I won't have access to that anymore. And I will be in pain every day of my life. And that would be an awful way to live.
I ask you an honest question. Do you really think you're not going to get access to birth control under Donald Trump? No. Hillary, what do you say to that?
So they ended up booing this woman, who's concerned that she will not be able to get the medication she needs to not live in pain. And look, she's right to be concerned. The Trump administration issued multiple regulations that actually placed restrictions on the availability for funding for contraception. Okay? And during his campaign, he initially expressed that states could restrict access to birth control. However, when that became an unpopular position, he backed off and generally just has avoided talking about it. Or it's like, oh no, I would never stop that, mainly because it's very, very unpopular. That said, the Republican Party platform does state support for access to birth control. However, there is no detail on the policies that they would implement to try to promote access, which to me, yeah, that's lip service. Okay. Because it turns out 90% of Americans are in favor of birth control. Okay, so now that said, Congress had a chance to vote on real policy to protect access to contraceptives. What happened? Turns out the majority of Republican members of Congress, including Senator J.D. Vance, either opposed or abstained from voting on the Right to Contraception Act. In the bill, the term contraceptive means any drug, device, or biological product intended for use in the prevention of pregnancy, not abortion. And to be clear, the act seeks to provide a clear and comprehensive right to contraception, to permit individuals to seek and obtain contraceptives and engage in contraception, and to permit healthcare providers to facilitate that care, and protect an individual's ability to make decisions about their own body, medical care, family, and life's course, and thereby protect the individual's ability to participate equally in the economic and social life of the United States. So, I don't know, sounds a lot like freedom, in that Republicans keep saying that they want. Well, we believe in freedom. We're for freedom, liberty. Unless, of course, when it comes to women, their own bodies, and whether or not they can have sex or just live their life free of pain. Because, again, contraceptions don't just make it so that you can't get pregnant. It also treats a variety of issues, okay, that can prevent, taking the contraception can actually prevent and treat pain, okay? So, yeah, a lot of issues there that birth control actually helps treat. But Republicans only look at it as, sex. We don't want you having sex unless you're going to have babies. It's kind of a weird thing, you know, kind of a creepy thing, actually, when you're just obsessed about sex. That's it. Now, anyway, Project 2025 characterizes some emergency contraception. These are pills, for example, mifepristone, as a potential abortifacient. Okay. You're actually, these are abortion pills. No, they prevent implantation. Okay. Or even delay ovulation. So, no, not abortion pills at all. Now, not only that, but in Texas, federal courts like the Fifth Circuit have ruled that minors must have parental consent to obtain prescription birth control from Texas clinics subsidized by Title 10. In late July, Attorney General Ken Paxton filed suit to overturn a new federal rule that reaffirmed teens' ability in other states to get contraception without their parents' consent. Now, wait a minute. You might be asking, why would teenagers need to get birth control without their parents' consent? I mean, that's rather strange. Don't you want the parents to be involved? In a perfect world, absolutely, you would want them to be involved and to know that they're getting birth control. But remember, there are parents that 100% don't want their kids to have birth control whatsoever, even if they have these, again, painful conditions that can be treated through contraception. Oh, they see it as, oh, we're just giving you permission to have sex. No, that's not what it's about. So I can see why, there are, yes, times where young people, teenagers, might have to go around their parents. And it sucks, but it would be a lot better if the parents were more open-minded and understanding about, again, some of these conditions like this young lady experiences. So now, that's not all. Remember when the Supreme Court overturned the federal right to abortion in the Dobbs decision back in 2022? Justice Clarence Thomas had written that the court should go back and reconsider other rulings with similar legal principles, including Griswold v. Connecticut, the 1965 decision establishing a right to contraception as well as personal privacy. Of course, Republicans, for the moment, they're not going to do an outright ban on contraception. Again, 90% of the country supports being able to get it, but they do plan on doing what they did to contraception what they did to abortion rights to contraception. Okay, chipping away at it with regulatory changes, limits on it being covered by insurance, okay, and funding reductions for family planning. And they say they want to be pro-family, right? No, they're pro-forced birth. So understand that chipping away is how the attacks on abortion rights started with. And not only that, there's been plenty of discussion among members of the right wing, including congressional members, about trying to stop women from being able to take contraception because, we want women to have more babies. We want, there to be more families in this country, and so we gotta pump up that birth rate. You know what I'm saying, for young white women specifically, and so that's the creepiness that I'm sure has crossed a lot of minds of women going to the polls. They don't want to be subject to that. Okay, so yeah, she's expressing a real concern. She gets booed, and then the same crowd ends up chanting, "We are trash." Is it any wonder why we agree? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.